Hey everybody, today I am making Trisha Yearwood's Butterscotch Peanut Butter Bars. I am making these for tonight. We're going to play cards. We're going to play euchre with a group of people. So this is going to be my contribution to the event. First thing, they want you to use a stick of butter. So I melted mine just a little bit because I'm not going to use an electric mixer because I don't have one of those big fancy dancy ones. And I want it easier to mix. So I melted the butter just a little bit. And now they want me to butter my 9x13 pan. So what I'm going to do is, here's a little tip. You use the paper that your butter was in and you use that to rub onto your pan. My mom used to do this. So I'm going to do it. Get all the sides, the bottom, and up the side of your pan just in case anything gets sticky up there. So I had plenty of butter left on here to butter my pan. So then you don't need the spray stuff. You oven to 350. So get your oven preheated to 350 so that can be getting ready. Stick of butter. I need a half a cup of sugar. Half a cup here. Make sure it's level. Half a cup of sugar. You also need a half a cup of brown sugar. So I like to keep my brown sugar in the plastic Tupperware bowl. Use the same measuring cup, it'll be super fine. I put my cup in the bag. Bring it closer so you guys can see. And then I use the bag to kind of squish it in there because brown sugar, you have to make sure it's in there firmly. It's packed firmly. And I like to just keep it in the bag and then I pull it out and voila, there it is. And then I have no mess. I didn't use another utensil. There's my half a cup of brown sugar. And now I need a half a cup of peanut butter. So get my peanut butter out here. I'm going to use a different cup for that because I think I need another half cup of something later. So you can use any kind of peanut butter for this recipe. I always grab it. I always have Jif in the house, so that's what I always use for all my recipes. So you want to make sure that you push your peanut butter down so there's no air pockets. That Jif one is empty, but voila, I have another. So get all of your peanut butter packed in there. See, I just kind of use my spoon to get it off of the edges and smooth it out so it's level, and then put it in a bowl. I am going to, once I get all this peanut butter out of this, I'm going to mix things up a little bit. Do my first mixing. So clean off the spoon that had the peanut butter. You want to get all that deliciousness in there. And now mix up those sugars and the peanut butter and the butter so you can kind of get that consistency going. But if you're using an electric mixer, you can wait till you get everything in the bowl and then start mixing. But since I'm doing everything by hand, I'm going to give it a little pre-mixing. You can come by. You won't be in the shot. All right, so mixed up, pretty good. Looks like this, and it smells very peanut buttery. All right, next I need in there 1 egg and some vanilla. I'll come over and grab my egg, of course. I need to get it ready. I'm just using, I always have large eggs in hand, so that's usually what I usually use. Crack it. Don't get any shells in there. Voila. And a teaspoon of vanilla. I have pure vanilla today. Sometimes I have imitation. Sometimes I have the fancy stuff that's more expensive. But for today, I just have mediocre. All right, so now I have all of my wet ingredients, the egg, the vanilla. I'm gonna give that another stir. Get it mixed around. So these bars, they're gonna be bars. They turn out pretty good. And they're great to take places. People eat them up pretty quickly. And sometimes the butter will not be totally mixed in. You'll be able to see like pieces of butter, but the beauty with that is when you bake it, it melts. So you're good with that. So here are my initial ingredients. And now I'm gonna get my dry ingredients ready. Okay, for the dry ingredients, we need a cup of flour. I like to keep my flour in these handled tubs. They're just easier to use when you're ready. Some people like other different canisters. I keep shaking it because I want it really level. Some people use a knife then to level it off, but I'm pretty good at shaking it. So I have a cup of flour. And then all I need is a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to use a different teaspoon than I used for the vanilla because that was liquidy. So I have 1,000,000 teaspoons around my house. So I'm going to level that off with the side. These handy dandy sides, you just level it off, pull it out. You have a nice level thing of baking soda, 1 teaspoon. And then I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So here I always have my salt box. This was something I learned from Paula Deen. And in here I keep regular like table salt, and I keep some bigger salt flakes. And I usually keep a 1/2 tablespoon or a 1/2 teaspoon in here. But this one only calls for a 1/4. So I'm going to use my 1/4 salt. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit less because my butter was salted. And so when I use salted butter, when the ingredient also calls for salt, then I usually put in a little bit less. All right, so there's that. I'm just going to mix that around for my dry ingredients. Oh, also with the flour, I need a 1/2 cup of oatmeal. And I can use my other 1/2 cup that I used earlier for my sugars. I am using Quaker oats, those quick cooking oatmeal. Quaker quick cooking oatmeal. Oh, there it is. All right, so I've got the flour, baking soda, salt, and some oatmeal. I just give it a little stir in there. And then as I am checking my readings so I don't mess anything up, because I don't like to mess things up, I'm now going to mix this dry ingredient in with the wet. Sometimes, you know, I don't get another bowl out and I just use everything and put it in the same bowl. I probably should have done that today because I don't think it really makes a big difference. So now I just want to mix all of that together so it looks like everything is in there. What are some things that you guys like to take when you like go to card parties or game night, or you know, what do you like to take to share with the group? Because everybody usually ends up bringing something and you have like a smattering of stuff. It usually works out that there's like sweet stuff and then there's dips, and some people bring meatballs. So we usually have a nice variety. Everybody brings different things all the time, and it's usually not everybody bringing bars. It's usually all different. Okay, so now I need to spread this in my pan. Let me bring the pan over so you guys can kind of see it. Let me move you down a little bit. Slightly. That sort of works. There we go. All right, so it's like a cookie mixture because they're bars. So put them in here. I feel like these are going to be pretty thin. I could have used the next size down pan, but we'll see. I think I might usually do that. Use my rubber scraper. Get it all in there. I probably need to get the bowl out of the way so you can see. All right, spread it around. Rubber scrapers are really good at the spreading. Like I said, I feel like I could have used a smaller pan. This doesn't seem like it's gonna fill my pan. I'm not liking that too much. I'm not liking that, Trisha Yearwood. I think I could have used a smaller pan. You said 9 by 13. I think she lied. Because look at this. I'm not liking it. I'm like, what's going on here, Trisha? Let's pull this stuff from this corner. I have a lot down there, so I'm going to pull it over. It's not looking good, guys. I feel like a size smaller pan would have been my better bet. But I'm going to work with it. We're going to see what's going to happen. Is it really going to rise? I don't know. Well, it has baking soda in it, so possibly a little bit will get puffy. But I want to make sure that I have it all pretty level and not really thick places and really thin places, because if that happens, then my thin places are going to burn. So you want to make sure it is even throughout the pan. All right, I think I got it. And I'll hold it up and you guys can see what you think. Let me get every last little morsel off the spoon. Get on there. Get on there. All right, so if I hold it up, look how thin this is. Well, maybe it doesn't look too bad. All right, now what we are supposed to do is to sprinkle the butterscotch chips over the top. And they say to put about a cup in here. Who wants to measure? Nobody wants to measure butterscotch chips. So I'm just gonna sprinkle them like this. And I think I used about half a bag. And I'm gonna push them around in here, spread them out so we've got even butterscotch chips. Butterscotch peanut butter. Oh, the butterscotch smells so good. All right, so I've got the butterscotch chips all in here, and now I put it in the oven for 20 minutes, and then I have a drizzle that I need to put over it. So I'll put it in there and we'll check it out. Okay, while those bars are in the oven for 20 minutes at 350, I'm gonna whisk up the glaze that's gonna go on top. So the first thing I need in my glaze is a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. And I decided, remember that bowl I was using earlier that I'm like, why am I using 2 bowls? Well, now I'm using that same bowl. So I don't feel so bad that I have to wash another bowl. Some of these bowls I have to wash by hands because this one has like something on the bottom of it that can't go in the oven, which is a big pain in the butt. But look how pretty it is. Yeah, whatever. All right, so there is my 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Then I need a cup of confectioner's sugar, and I haven't opened this. So when I do this, I like to kind of shake it down a little bit and cut open the top. It's gonna get some of that confectioner's sugar on my counter, but oh well. So I'm using the same cup that I used earlier, once again, so I don't have to do extra washing. Of course, these can just go in the dishwasher, so it's not a big deal. And I'm using, again, my bag, so I don't have confectioner's sugar all over, and I'm kind of trying to level that. You have to be careful because confectioner's sugar gets a little puffy. And so I'm adding that to my 1/4 cup of peanut butter. And then I need 4 tablespoons of milk. And it doesn't specify any particular kind of milk. So I always have fat-free milk on hand. Nowadays, both of my boys are in college now. So there's 2 that I count. There's 3, and there's 4 tablespoons. And now I'm gonna whisk that together. Both of my boys are in college, and I used to buy 4 gallons of milk every week, and sometimes we would go through it and I have to go get more. But now that it's just my husband and I, we can sometimes just have 1 gallon. It's crazy. Crazy. All right, so this was really easy to throw together. 1/4 cup of peanut butter, the cup of confectioner's sugar, and then 4 tablespoons of milk. And it's ready. It's a glaze. So I'm just gonna drizzle it on top of those bars when they come out, when they're warm. So this is able to just sit and wait while I clean up things while things are baking in the oven. So it's looking good, guys. Okay, Trisha Yearwood, you are not a liar. I stand corrected. I need to trust the process. All right, so I took these bad boys out, and my house, it smells, I'm just hearing a weird sound in the garage. But anyway, my house smells so awesome with butterscotch. Oh, so look at it. They did puff up. So, all right, so a 9x13 pan is the way to go. All right, with all this delightful smells, now I have that peanut butter drizzle. I'm gonna stir it up a little bit, And now I'm going to just use a spoon. I don't know if anybody makes any handy dandy fancy little drizzling containers, but a spoon works plenty good. So I'm gonna take my spoon, it's full, and let's see how it goes. Just kind of drizzling it over, shake it over the top. Drizzling away. I don't want ginormous clumps, but sometimes with a spoon you do get ginormous clumps. I'm gonna get my whisk out of the way because it's annoying me. All right, let's get this going here. Maybe if I do this little swirly, I don't think I'm going to use all this drizzle because it might be way too sweet. So I'll do a couple more swirls, and then I'm going to say Trisha Yearwood Butterscotch peanut butter bars are fini. Good. Look, I even have something. Maybe I can put some of this on graham crackers and use it on that. So let me hold them up so you guys can see them. I'm not gonna cut them yet because I just took them out of the oven and it needs to set a little bit more. So I will come back with a taste test and show you what they look like. So we're gonna let them sit and cool off, put them on my rack so they can cool off, and we'll check back with the final product. All right, I couldn't wait any longer because they're still warm and a little soft, but that smelled so yummy with all this butterscotch smell. It's overpowering. All right, so I already took out a quarter piece and I did take a bite already, and it's so good. They're soft. And that peanut butter and butterscotch flavor together, fabulous. So all I have to do now is to put them on a fancy pretty plate for my euchre tonight, and these are gonna go quick, guys. So try out this recipe and it's awesome.